defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now.
So awful what happened to those people. At least the excursion.
Can't believe they're all gone.
Typically, when I speak of moral degradation, I do not expect it to become...
I can hardly believe I'm still standing.
Grand Architect! First an attack on the monastery and now the lift code's not working? Am I misremembering it? No. Unless... Wiley would know this, I'm sure. Agent, oh thank good odds and high probabilities you're back. There's been an incident. A rogue faction has taken over the monastery. My seer Wiley, is trapped up there with other hostages of the Order. To make matters worse, my access code's not working. Without it, I've no way of calling the lift. No, I've known Landon for years. You must be mistaken. If what you say is true, that is damning evidence indeed. But why would he do it? Align himself against the Order? Against a friend? That's a serious accusation. Why would I do such a thing? You seem to be under the mistaken assumption that the Earth Directorate has any true authority here. I'm sorry, but we really haven't the time to litigate this issue further. In case I didn't make it clear before, the monastery is currently in jeopardy. Peace talks? Yes, Ruth informed me, but how did you learn of them? No one outside a select circle are supposed to be aware they're happening. Representatives of Auntie's Choice and the Order are meeting to discuss an armistice and possible collaboration. It's an unprecedented opportunity to shorten this war. I know I mentioned it before, but compartmentalization is crucial to the success of most of the Order's operations. I wish I could offer more details than that. If this DeVries is responsible, then I agree with your objective. But don't forget the innocents caught in the middle. They need your help too. But I'm afraid I won't be accompanying you. I can't be sure my presence wouldn't alter the outcome of your efforts in prodigious and unforeseen ways. Once you reach the monastery, make your way to the observatory. If the conspirators are seeking the coordinates of the talks, no doubt their efforts will be concentrated there. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you. That's certainly a relief. Let's hope we live long enough to enjoy the fruits of your diplomatic labor.
Have you beheld that new
Finally,
rifle up at the
a
monastery?
chance to judge members of the Order.
Right?
Are you sure that rope can support us?
I am 100% certain that its tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined weight. Probably.
Wait, look! Someone just came up via the lift. It must be unlocked.
Seer Wiley said I wasn't on his list and let me go. He must have predicted I wouldn't fight back. I don't understand. Where's the abbot? Why isn't he doing something?
destroyed it all. I told him he wasn't going to make it. Is this why Wiley's ilk spared him? Because the seer already Hey, body's not even cold yet. Show a little respect. Roger always said he wanted his body donated to the Order if it'd help advance the plan. But I'm sure this wasn't what he had in mind.
Every word out of his traitorous law makes my hammer hand ache. I propose we pass summary judgment with no delay.
Hold that belief in your minds. Let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now is the time for execution. Those outside the Order, and some simpletons within it, claim that all things happen for a reason. But the wise among us know that nothing occurs without a catalyst. Today, we are that catalyst, setting into motion the future most aligned with the plan.
Sharp enough. Hostiles nearby.
Light. Sorry. Rejuvenation device.
That device may be the deciding factor.
Found another one. Damn it.
I've eyes on him.
I knew there'd be a high probability of fighting, but I didn't think.
None of that. Remember what Wiley told us.
Document to find so we have an accurate head count later.
Well, yes, that. But also not everyone will share our vision of the plan. We gave them the option to join us. And it's not our fault they chose wrong.
Was not so dissimilar to us. He donned his jumpsuit 1.3 pants legs at a time. Inexplicable,
Those are N-ray junction boxes. That scanner might be useful to see how this place is wired up.
Good. Another gore-splattered bathhouse. If you've seen one, you've really seen them all.
but a single gear in the grand workings of the universe and should not expect to control all of its mechanisms or outcomes. Assessing. Contraption inaccessible. 1, 2, 3.
Let's weapons
Unspecified. Anomalous outcome.
Anomalous
perspiring brow, if you try to cite the fourth pillar to me one more time, scientific advancement should not come at the cost of the grace and dignity of innocent lives. That is all I am saying. Armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya, but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative.
Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist? I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 thesis on determinism then. I'm aware of the errors of his methodology, but Long's overall opinion is still... Wait, why am I arguing with you about this?
Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief. And how do you predetermine the harm of action against the harm of inaction?
We make those estimates all the time. That's the whole reason we employ seers.
We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate.
Lack of a door, for starters.
You're currently standing outside of an anchor hold. My colleague and I have chosen to permanently enclose ourselves within this cell to lead a life of concentrated purpose. As anchorites of the Order, it is our duty to postulate on the universe's perplexities for the benefit of observers. In this way, we advance the plan through empirical knowledge.
Who's to say we haven't tried?
My colleague is joking. The answer to your question is simple. All anchorites undergo extensive testing before being admitted to such a calling. You might say we are compatible.
Then it's a good thing you're standing on that side of the window, isn't it?
The search for answers to life's important questions often yields powerful rewards. Who knows? Something learned here may later prove the difference between life and death.
And if that's not enough, we still have some Order arms and armaments from a recent demonstration we gave. You'd be welcome to one or the other. I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important.
And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing. You're in luck. I just finished my third reread of it. Chapter 47 is a real treat. When we're finished speaking, I'll put it in the collection drawer, but do take care with it, especially around the bath. We lose more good books that way.
Augustine? Sure. She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get.
I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask?
Augustine was obsessed with the rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions, so I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. I'm sure I have no notion of what you're referring to.
Good for him. About time someone put theory into application.
What my colleague means is Landon Wiley is among our most gifted and dedicated seers. Whatever actions he's taken must be in service of the plan. I do hope no one's been hurt, though. I see. That is distressing to hear. But as we in the Order like to say, the plan actuates by deliberate means. Let us hope this conflict resolves itself soon. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research. Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for?
Of course you do.
Those who do not follow the plan will be terminated. I shall reduce
It's the unknown veritable!
The target.
Supposed to shoot the enemy!
Nowhere near as interesting as the taxidermied cross-sections displaying their internal organs I made when I was a child.
Look, I know this ain't gonna get to the abbot, but I have complaints that need registering anyhow. This monastery's too big for the staff we've got, and it sure seems like the scienticians and theorists here ain't fixated on keeping neat. I might just be a novice, but at 73 years of age, I have enough self-respect that I shouldn't be picking up another body's lavation towels. Still, ain't as bad as it was in Auntie's choice, but that don't mean it's good. I just ask you folks to remember that there's more of importance out here than just your numbers.
Did Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar know the matriarch?
She has determined derivatives at multiple points along that function.
Isn't this fancy? Guessing these are the abbot's quarters.
Oh, looks like he has a new volume of Star-Crossed Amidst the Stars. I thought that series was out of print.
I always knew you arbiters were a soft-headed lot.
There's nothing shameful about being well-read. How else is an arbiter to know the mind of the common subject?
Bishop Bassar has failed this order as its preeminent luminary. And without our intervention, she would make peace with the primitive minds of Auntie's choice. This must be prevented, whatever the cost, or humanity's ascendance will be forestalled by centuries, if not millennia. agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire? Stamped onto a test of order aptitude. And who do we blame when a student fails? The stalwart agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
As if we'd fall for their stalling tactics just to watch these poor fools die slowly and horribly, mangled like punch cards. What were we talking about again?
It pains me to say so, but I believe we should take the time to save the hostages. Whatever DeVries wreaks can be undone. These deaths cannot.
I prefer to kill my enemies first, innocent hostages later.
Other arbiters would disagree, but I believe this to be right. These hostages must live through today to rejoin the Protectorate tomorrow.
Definitely not. We should be the only ones killing hostages around here.
Praise high probability. Wiley trapped us here. He let some others go, but didn't even give us the chance to surrender.
He's lost his wits. Kept going on about his puzzle in the research wing upstairs. That must be where he hid the key to stop the press. Hurry!
Safe ahead. Looks like more order nonsense. Must be part of Wiley's inane puzzle.
Aggressor at hand.
Navigating toward adversary. Balance. Steady, capricious, inconstant.
against us! Well, there it goes. This is actually impressive. I've never had so many individual reasons to kill someone before.
Ah, see? Didn't I tell you our friends would be back?
Hurry! Disable the court press machine!
Wait, what did you do? This wasn't in my own.
I wish I could have seen the sheer panic on their faces in their last moments. Must have been exquisite. I wager they never felt so alive. With both eyes open.
Thank the architect.
Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for? Wonderful. Please deposit the titles in that drawer there, and we will review it forthwith. Excellent timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares.
You too, huh?
Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop.
I see someone has been reading On the Origin of Sprats. It has that effect on people.
Mental carceration and the potential unreality of conscious experience adds an interesting dimension to the argument. It's certainly worth exploring.
Perhaps later. For now, I feel we should reward our guest with their choice of reward, given the idiosyncratic nature of his conclusion. Armor or weapon? Very well. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer.
Roger would appreciate that, I think.
Sharp enough.
Then he
Hostiles
tells
nearby.
me. Oh well, no use deliberating over.
Weapon prime! Statistical improbabilities are unconcerning.
A 115% increase in humanity's betterment.
You have my thanks.
unfriendly company.
Analyzing.
Random elements.
Your vitals look grim, Commander. At your word, I shall charge!
Displaying customary intimidation.
Advancing for an ideal firing solution.
Is that supposed to be Traitor? Looks a little small to me.
So Clemens and Svoboda's killer arrives. So much of our plan ruined because of your meddling. Victor's explosives would have minimized casualties on both sides. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. So Clemens and Svoboda's killer arrives. So much of our plan ruined because of your meddling. Victor's explosives would have minimized casualties on both sides. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. Oh, I think my average walking speed will suffice once I've finished dispatching you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. In a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us, I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. De Vries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment. What in the Architect's computational summary are you on about? This proves nothing, except your willingness to trespass into other people's correspondence, and Joseph's inability to express himself clearly in the written form. That's the difference between you and me. I am an intellectual. You are just a brute with a gun. And with that, I think I've gleaned from you all that I need to judge your true measure. No more talking, Agent. It's time I deliver my last prediction to you, personally.
Recharge!
Riddle me with bullets all you like! This retreat!
Proceeding
Well, that was unusually cathartic. What say we rummage through that fool's data as a final sally into his crippled psyche?
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything.
Restore my life.
I fear the last. Use the. However, though the. Yet we must.
It would seem that our work here is done. Let us return to the ship and press on to those so-called peace talks.
Agent, over here. I assume you had a chance to speak with Landon, that is, Seer Wiley.
Your colleague was odious even among seditionists. This was only ever going to end one way.
I require a moment. Yes. Better to focus on our gains than our losses. My colleague's survival is something worth celebrating. I won't keep you. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery. Regrettable though the outcome with Seer Wiley turned out to be. I had intended to offer you access to one of our experimental weapons, but it seems you already helped yourself to it. You always do seem a step ahead of me. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan. I will not stand in the way of your pursuit of the malicious actors responsible for engineering this takeover. Go with the Order's blessing.
I don't know what you're complaining of. We emerged totally unscathed.
I'd estimate I'm 43.11% scathed.
Then increment your bravery index. My goodness, you novices in your theatrics.
Hey, Commander, I think Val wants us to discuss strategy. Or I could just be misunderstanding the...
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
You have a plan, Commander? If not, may I suggest unrestrained carnage tends to grab people's attention.
Stakes are high. If DeVries sabotages the peace talks, war will continue. Don't need to be a seer to divine that.
I'd say she won't know what hit her, but she will likely see my hammer before I drive it down on her forehead.
Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised, in the absence of Victor, status deceased, and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander.
And our wits, but mostly our weapons.
Additionally, per the Earth Directorate Manual, when lacking equivalent combat forces, determination and vast amounts of ammunition may make up the difference.
You know where I stand. This war's taken too many good folk from us. I'll be damned if I let DeVries add to that number.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of her own phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
That damn Wiley put us in an impossible situation. I'm glad those hostages can go back to their families, but I fear we played right into DeVries' hands. With that data, she could wreak more havoc than we anticipated. Look, I know the choice is yours on how you want to approach this, but it's my folk in the crosshairs. If something happens to our delegate, I don't know how I'd live with myself. If there's space by your side, I hope you'll call on me. Sure, let's go with that. If we fail to stop DeVries, this will have dire consequences for the war and everything else. So let's not fail, huh? The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected, and beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Andes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. Real nice, Commander. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. Except we have resources. I went, and all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? And appreciate you hearing me out. I feel sick that Victor chose to end his life the way he did. And he was prepared to do it from the start. Law. DeVries doesn't deserve that kind of loyalty from anyone. Fine by me. Sounds like your old pal DeVries was in deep with the Order. Now, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I don't reckon fanatical is part of their employee code of conduct. And as you've seen, that kind of loyalty can pose a real problem to everyone else. But we'll track her down before it comes to a head. Don't you worry.